I think there's something innate in human beings that makes us enjoy watching other people beat the shit out of each other. For me, this started as a kid when I first saw the WWE. I was so into that shit, man. You know, I'm talking like Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Jeff Hardy, John Cena.
Are you sure about that?
The off-the-wall moves they pulled off in the ring were crazy to me. I ignored that don't try this at home disclaimer and was swanton bombing this giant teddy bear my grandma got me like I was going for the belt. But like every other kid who grew up watching WWE, I eventually realized it was fake. So naturally, I moved on to UFC, and it was still fun because it was still people beating the shit out of each other, but for real this time. But it was missing that corny goofiness that WWE had. But then I found Street Beefs on YouTube, which allows anyone, and I mean absolutely anyone of any level, to fight in an organized setting. And as you can imagine, this attracts some very strange people. People who have the same over-the-top personalities that WWE wrestlers have, but they're actually like that. And today we're going to look at a couple of my favorite fighters so you can get a feel for what Street Beefs is like. What's poppin', Fortnite gamers? It's your boy Brandon Abstrxct. For new viewers, I made a promise that once I hit 2K subscribers, I would put out my male whimpering audio, and we did in fact hit it, so here it is.
Come on. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh!
So if you're liking the video so far and want more of that, consider subscribing because that's going to be in every video from now on. So before we get into it, I want to give a little background on Street Beefs because as goofy as it is, it actually has a really nice backstory. So Street Beefs started, as the name kind of implies, it's a place for people to settle beefs in an organized setting. The whole point of its creation was that the founder Scarface wanted a safe place for people to settle personal disputes without potentially killing each other through gun violence or just a normal street fight. And now it's a little hazy if they always just let anyone fight to fight, but on top of the beefs, they also let anyone of any level fight just for the spirit of the game. And that's kind of the fun of it. You get to watch normal everyday people just beat the shit out of each other. And real quickly, I just want to say I respect everyone I'm going to talk about in this video just because they're willing to get in a ring. Obviously, I'm going to be doing some light roasting, but I got nothing against them. And with all of that out of the way, let's get into the first fight that really got me into Street Beefs.
Talk about he called me out on one of my videos, so we're about to see what he's about today.
We don't need to talk, we're here to rumble. I got me and mines all day.
Let's go.
All day.
We're already on a fun fight because it's a tag team MMA fight, and we'll see what that means in a second. But here we have 7-1 Static, who we'll get into a bit later, but more importantly, his brother 717 Dinero.
This ain't no place for no hero.
Now, obviously, the first thing you're going to notice is his haircut. Bro is rocking the Baldur's Gate 3 NPC cut.
He called me out on one of my videos, so we're about to see what he's about today.
The one thing you'll notice about Dinero right away is that he's really confident and likes to talk shit that he's going to win, which is the worst thing you can do as a fighter. If you're humble and lose, no one really cares, but if you talk shit and get your ass beat, you'll look really stupid. They're fighting against Mike and Dolo, who wears rubber ducky shorts.
Man, you know what we're going to do out this. Man, you know what we're going to do.
It's going to be a scrap, that's all.
But I'm going to be real with y'all. Do we really have to pretend that we don't know who's going to win this fight based off that intro? And I don't mean that disrespectfully. Static and Dinero can fight, but they're really outclassed here. It's like a blind person fighting Mike Tyson. The blind part has nothing to do with that analogy. They're getting their ass beat either way. And I'm not alone because I went to the comments right after watching the intro and the top comment says the same thing. But let's watch it just to be sure.
Round one, let's work!
So yeah, remember when I said it was tag team? It's just two fights going on at the same time. And that's the beauty of Street Beefs. My favorite thing about it being two fights going on at once is that they can only really focus on one fight at a time. So on this wide shot, we get to see both fights going on. Then it pans over to focus on Static and Mike, and you just hear this giant thud. Then it pans back and you just see Dinero getting choked out on the ground by Dolo. Finally, they bust out a second camera so we get a split screen of the fight like we're playing Halo 3 co-op. And through this shot, we can see that the fight is not going well for either brother. After about 30 seconds, they pull Dolo off Dinero and consider their fight done, and Dinero is really pissed about it. He's complaining about getting hit in the back of the head, which is fair because Dolo gets at least 2 shots on the back of his head before they pull him off. But you know, it's kind of like complaining about getting a paper cut after being shot. It didn't really change the outcome. So then we focus on Static and Mike, and the ref must be blind because Mike is also hitting him in the back of the head. Get up, you a bitch! Get up! But the fun part is Dinero still trying to argue with while all this is going on. The only real highlight left of this fight is Static groaning like he's simultaneously shitting and nutting at the same time while trying to get out of a submission. And the guy in the audience who yells he needs some milk. But anyways, after a couple more shots to the back of the head, Dolo and Mike are crowned the winners. And to celebrate, they do 1.5 backflips. Dolo gets kind of disrespectful, yelling at Static to get up after getting his ass beat. Get up! Get up! Get up! But they also mention that this fight started as a beef, so maybe it was warranted. Now, Static takes the loss really well and gives a nice hype speech while also giving a hug to Mike and Dolo.
I don't do no damn talking. I'm here for this, that's it. Win or lose, I live for this. Hey, dap it up, dap it up.
From everything I've seen of Static, he always takes his L's very gracefully. There is one fight where he gets beaten pretty badly and then starts crying and hugs it out with the guy who beat him up.
You're a fucking champ. That had to be.
But Dinero, on the other hand, you can just see on his face that he's not happy about the loss and is not taking it well. Dinero and Static really show off the trope of the angry, competitive older brother and the happy, nice younger brother really well. Now, you would think after this loss, Dinero would just accept it and move on, but he gets petty and challenges Dolo to a rematch. And you can see he still doesn't accept the L because he says it wasn't a real fight.
There was that little Netflix thing for the cameras and shit. That wasn't a real fight. Straight up, that wasn't a real fight. You're about to see the real thing today.
Dolo lets us know that Dinero had been messaging him for a couple of months asking for a rematch, and then when they scheduled one, Dinero didn't even show up the first time.
We did a little 2-on-2 shit. I beat the out of him. Then he hit me up saying I'm a hoe if I don't come back next month. I came back next month, wasn't there.
No show.
Calling me a hoe ass and all this other shit.
He also lets us know who he's doing this fight for.
This is for Black History Month right here, man.
Hell yeah.
So then we finally get into the rematch. Dinero throws out a kick right away, which is his main move. He even talks shit saying he's going to throw out more kicks before immediately being pushed to the wall and grappled onto the ground.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
And then Dolo starts talking shit after he gets him pinned down to the ground.
There you go.
So not much happens in the first round besides that. It just ends with them being on the ground. The next round starts with Dinero throwing out a weak kick and then talking shit to the point that even Dolo is confused about it. But eventually Dinero gets a really good hit on Dolo, and Dolo is so impressed by it that they hug it out, and that's the end of the fight. I'm just kidding. Dolo gets on top of him again and makes him tap out. Now I know what you're saying. Does Dinero lose every fight? And the answer is no. Dinero has one win that I could find. But I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to play it for you.
Less work.
He wins by getting a cheap shot on the guy while he's trying to dab him up. What's even worse is that he celebrates it like it's a big deal.
Yes, sir! That's how we do it! 717, you heard?
I told y'all I was taking the dub, first round knockout. Come on now, I'll be back next month.
Flexing after a win like that is like flexing after winning a paper cut battle by shooting the guy or beating up a blind person in boxing, you know? Anyways, that's enough about Dinero. I want to look at a fight that his brother was in, but our main focus is going to be his opponent.
I am Death Sentence!
Bro, I love Death Sentence so much. Just everything about him is a sight to behold. From his Naruto outfit to his intro to his fighting style, it's just so perfect. He literally does the same intro every time. I am Death Sentence! And then he proceeds to talk shit to his opponent.
Static! Welcome to the end of your life, and I promise it's gonna hurt.
He is the perfect heel for street beefs that you actually want to root for because he's just so wacky. Now, on top of having the same intro every time, he also opens every round with the same move. And I'm not going to describe it, I'm just going to show it to you.
Let's work! Yeah!
He always goes for that jumping strike on every opponent. He does not care if you know how to counter it. He's gonna go for it no matter what. Like, everything about him is just a Tekken character. And speaking of Tekken, it seems like Static knows exactly how to counter this move and gets him right into a leg lock. Now, what is Death Sentence going to do to get out of this? Is he A, going to use precise, thought-out technique to get out? B, go Ninetales Chakra mode and hit him with a Rasen Shuriken? Or C, flail around his legs and hope he hits him somehow? I just love how he gets his fists ready in case he needs to unload on Static right after getting out. Static, of course, has the proper response to what just happened to him. While that happens, Death Sentence gets a stern talking to about what he just did.
When you're laying down, don't be just kicking, because you can't kick on the ground like that.
So after all that's wrapped up, we continue on with the match. And of course, my boy Sentence opens up with the flying Raijin Jutsu.
Ready, let's go!
Oh, he whiffed. At least he's going to have time to set up his next attack. Oh, yep, that's the end of that one. One of my favorite things about Street Beefs is that we get an instant post-match interview with the winner. So we get shit like this.
All respect to my opponent. Thank you, Death Sentence. Great war, my friend.
The amount of times some guy goes on about respecting his opponent while the other guy is dying on the ground is crazy. Oh, and look, Static's mom's at the match too.
That's my f***ing mama.
It's honestly pretty heartwarming to see a mom show up to her son's Street Beef. My mom is the reason my viewer retention is so low because she clicks on my videos, sees my face, and then clicks off to go watch Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast! Alright, next we got the battle of anime versus American style anime shows. Because it's Death Sentence versus Surfo the Last Wavebender. Let me tell you, there are so many goofy ass names in Street Beefs, it's amazing.
Hey, it's Kumquat back again.
Hey, Black Goku here.
I'm the Spanish causing panic. Hey, my name's SpongeBob.
Anyways, let's see that Death Sentence intro, baby.
I am Death Sentence! And Cal, I'm sponsoring a dude. Yeah, that guy.
That was not as hype. You can't jolt me around with the energy like that. I do love how he drops all his adrenaline to talk about his sponsor and he doesn't even remember who it is and he's just like, oh, it's that guy over there. Anyways, let's see how he opens up this round.
Fight! Watch you! Oh!
You cannot tell me that he's just not a Tekken character. He even did the Mario woohoo when he jumped into it.
Watch you!
And that's the peak of the match because it ends like 30 seconds later. They just keep grappling each other until Surfo gets them into a lock.
Oh my god!
You know the ref just saw the intro and the opening move and was like, yeah, that's it. This isn't going anywhere.
What?
Alright, now I want to talk about a fighter who's not goofy or crazy. He's just a fun guy. Now, since anyone can fight in Street Beefs, that also means that anyone of any age can fight in Street Beefs. And that's where we enter VISEGRIP.
Howdy, I'm VISEGRIP.
VISEGRIP is him, bro. He's been him. He will continue to be him.
I'm him. I've been him. I will continue to be him.
Imagine you're chilling watching YouTube and click on a random fight video and just see your dad.
Oh my god, Dad?
I've trained all my life and never done much with my training, so now that these guys are here, I got a chance to do something with it.
It's honestly really funny seeing VISEGRIP's nice intro where he's like, oh, I've trained my whole life, but I've never done anything with it, so I figured now is the time. And then you get to his opponent, Kevin from IT.
Kevin from IT. Life's dealt me a lot of pain. I even have it tattooed on my arm. Time for someone else to feel some of it.
Whoa, just take it easy, man.
They're like 10 years apart, but I think they really show the duality of the type of person you can become when you get older. Also, in case you're wondering why this video is slightly different from the others, this video is from Street Beef Scrapyards, which is hosted in Washington, while the original is hosted in West Virginia. That's right, Street Beefs is a whole-ass franchise company. I guess Scrapyard is just full of old nice guys, because the ref seems like an old nice guy too. Dude is reffing in a Mickey Mouse shirt. Maybe you can find love on that Disney adult dating app I made a video about a while back. Anyways, let's get into this fight. The first thing you'll notice is that VISEGRIP has the Popeye stance about to give this guy a walloping. And Kevin from IT has a shirt that says, I always wear black, so I'm ready for your funeral, which is kind of hard.
I always wear black, so I'm ready for your funeral.
And honestly, there's not that much funny shit that happens in this fight because they're both actually really good fighters. I know I've shown off a lot of dumb fights in this video, but I have to say that Street Beefs does have some real fighters who can put on some good fights. The matches I've shown so far are purely for entertainment. They're kind of like the comedy matches of WWE in my eyes. So all in all, VISEGRIP wins the fight, and I have a lot of respect for him because on top of showing him respect after beating him in the video, he even comments on the video letting everyone know that they shouldn't be talking shit about the guy he beat. Hell yeah, VISEGRIP. He also gives us the most dad-sounding winning speech I've ever heard.
Thanks for this chance. I'm glad you guys are here.
That's what's up! Yeah!
You know that's exactly what he says to his guests at the barbecue after serving them the most fire glizzy they ever had.
Thanks for this chance. I'm glad you guys are here.
Honestly, there's not much I want to say about VISEGRIP as a fighter because he's really good at it. I just want to show how relatable he is.
I've had a belief all my life that the 50-something comeback thing is a terrible idea, but here I am doing it anyway, so let's see how it works out. Stay off my lawn. This time if I fall on my face, there's only going to be one person taking the blame, and I'll say who that is at the time because it sure as the f ain't gonna be me. All right, let's start this thing. I'm VISEGRIP and why I oughta.
Why I oughta. I just love how he adopts a dad character so well. Look, I'm 25 and have a good relationship with my dad, but VISEGRIP, hit me up if you want to adopt me. Because I watched VISEGRIP get knocked out and it hurt me so bad it might as well have been my dad.
Oh my god, Dad!
You know, man, after watching all these fights, I'm really inspired to hop in the ring myself. But I don't live anywhere near any of the Street Beefs locations, so I guess I'll have to make do with what's around me.
What's up? It's your boy Sasuke Bussy. My opponent's a bitch, but let's have some fun.
Round 1. Fight!